So precedent we have discussed from Unit 4, right? Do you remember what precedent is?
The case laws, ma'am, previous case laws which could be used for the current case laws, like Supreme Court judgments and High Court judgment, which help in our case.
Something which is already being decided, we need to stick by that. Of higher
Yeah,
courts, we will stick by that decision. Correct. So that precedent, right? What we call as precedent, that is in Latin. That precedent is known as stare decisis. Okay, so it's the same doctrine. In Latin, we know it as stare decisis. Okay, so
stare decisis and same thing, ma'am.
yes, stand by the previous decided cases. Okay, so it is nothing but a derived from a Latin term. It's a Latin term which means to stand by things decided. That on a certain matter, on a certain area, something is already being decided. Don't need to again study that certain thing, again apply the law, but stand by that decision. Whatever is already being decided, you can stand by that decision. That's nothing but stare decisis. So in Britain, it has assumed a special form. It's known as stare decisis, which means that where a rule has become settled law, it is to be followed. Although sometimes you might feel that okay, is it proper or not? Is it not proper? You need to follow it. Like if High Court has given a decision, even though a subordinate court do not as such approve that, they will have to follow it because it is already being decided by a superior court. Judicial decisions become binding precedent for the determination of like cases in future. When similar situation or similar matter comes before them, in such cases, it will be we will stand by that previously decided case. Similar way, it will be decided. Bindingness of law depends on hierarchy of courts. Higher courts like Supreme Courts is binding on all courts, High Courts is binding on its subordinate courts, and for High Court's decision on other High Courts, it would have persuasive value, like we discussed. When we talk about object of stare decisis, the reason behind it is maintenance of consistency and certainty. It should not happen that today something is decided, tomorrow something else, day after tomorrow something else would be decided. Also, there would not be any certainty, right? We do not know when a case is filed. Whatever the judge feels like, he might give such a decision. So that should not happen. We need consistency and we need certainty, and stare decisis helps us to achieve that. Certainty, predictability, and stability in law are considered to be major objective of the legal system, and stare decisis helps there. So today, if a case is filed relating to or similar to the hijab ban case in Karnataka, we know similar sort of a decision we can expect. But we do not know what will happen, what will Supreme Court say. If Supreme Court says something tomorrow, after that we would have certainty that okay, similarly only cases will be decided. It's not like however the judge feels, they will just give a decision in that ways. We have sort of certainty, we have some idea on what might be the decision in a certain case. The doctrine of stare decisis, as is understood today, appears to not have existed in India during ancient or medieval times, wherein we were not having as such set of courts and proper hierarchy of courts we were not having. At that point in time, as such, it was not binding. It is only with the establishment of British rule in the country that the concept of binding precedent came to be applicable, because they also established hierarchy of courts and reporting of decisions started happening. So this
What is reporting of decision? Okay, ma'am. Got like proceeding.
yeah, reporting, like reporters we have, right? So like that records were kept that what was decided in this case after that, so that we can follow it. So two preconditions are needed: obiter dicta and ratio decidendi. Do you remember what is obiter dicta and ratio decidendi?
Obiter dicta is judge need to give a reason for the judgment he has taken, and obiter dicta, and one more word, ratio decidendi. It's uh ratio decision. Obiter dicta I remember, ma'am. Ratio decision.
Actually, you remember ratio decidency. What you said is ratio decidency, that they need to give reason. Okay, that is ratio decidency, like rationale, why that decision is given, that you need to remember. Obiter dicta means something which is said by the way, like an opinion given by the judge.
This opinion, yes, ma'am. Police is taken something and they have flaws in that. They need to look after that.
Yes,
Opinion given by court. Please.
opinion. So O for obiter dictum, O for opinion given. And rationale, you can remember. So ratio decidency, which is nothing but the rationale or the reason behind giving a certain decision. When we talk about stare decisis, it operates both horizontally and vertically. So what is horizontally? As in at same level. At same level, whatever codes we have, there also it applies, and it applies vertically also, as in hierarchy wise. Okay, so when a court adheres to its own precedent, court is
Ma'am,
adhering.
what is doctrine of stare decisis? Like doctrine means what, ma'am?
Doctrine is like how in science we have, right, like the what some Newton's law used to be there, right, that a thing in
Okay,
motion,
okay.
like that. In law also we have some, like basic concepts or principles that we say as principles, doctrines, maxims, like that.
Okay, like stare decisis means like
Yeah, so stare
it,
decisis is nothing but like a doctrine. So what this doctrine says, that stand by the previously decided thing. That's nothing but like a concept that we follow.
okay.
Okay. So when a court adheres to its own precedent, one court following its own decision, it's at the same level, right? It is called as horizontal stare decisis. Like Supreme Court of India adhering to its own previously decided decision, that's nothing but horizontal. Horizontally, we have a precedent. And when a court applies precedent from a higher court, it is called vertical stare decisis. Like High Court following a decision given by Supreme Court, it's nothing but vertical. When we talk about Supreme Court following Supreme Court, it's horizontal precedent. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Got it. Basically, like hierarchy thing,
Hierarchy, yeah.
horizontal and vertical.
So the doctrine of stare decisis makes decisions of court, usually higher forums, binding on the subordinate courts in cases which are similar or identical, wherein question of law that is raised is same. Okay, question of law as in what provisions should apply, what sort of punishment should be given, whether person should be released on bail or not. Those are questions of law. What law should be applied and how law would be applied. In those matters, similarly, it would be decided. The application of this doctrine ensures that there is uniformity and certainty in the law because it saves time, effort, energy of the judges, and also helps prevent arbitrary action on the part of judges. Judges would not be like, okay, whatever we feel like, we will decide that. That will not happen, but this arbitrariness, we can remove it, and there will be a certainty as well. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, like arbitrary. Okay, okay, ma'am. Got it.
Arbitrary as in they would not be like, okay, I'm a judge, I can do whatever I want. That thing will not be there. But they also need to abide by something.